I just want to protect some of them and knock the other ones off the ship. I don't care about the romance. Can I say that again? Should I say it one more time? Anyway, I love it. Quick check-in for Madship, which is book 2 of the Madship trilogy, which is getting all my attention until I finish it, which I should finish before the end of this vlog, and hopefully talk about some other things too. But I am nearly 550 pages. I am about to start High Summer, which I think, based off of how much I have left, which seems like a lot, but for Hob, I think everything is about to die. Everything is about to turn to chaos. We're getting to the climax. It's gonna be wild. When I say die, I'm not giving away spoilers. I just mean a storm's a-brewing. So, I don't know. She's doing that Robin Hobb thing where all the characters I love are suffering. So, it's rough, but I love it. I'm loving the story. I'm struggling with the direction that some of the character arcs are going with the struggles that they're facing. Still, Malta is my favorite perspective to read from. Malta is clever. She's smart. She knows how to rule a room. She knows how to manipulate any type of person. And she's also changing and growing a lot. In the face of the struggles that the family is in, she is developing as a character at a rapid pace. She's also our doorway into the Rainwild people, and the Rainwild people are the most interesting people in the book, so, and the most mysterious, and I just must know more. So anytime we're in Malta's perspective, I'm like, yes, please give me more. But really, every perspective I'm enjoying. Even Kenneth has gone from a character that I just don't like and don't want anything to do with to now he's a character that I still hate. Has become so fascinating to me to see him work with people, to see what he's planning and how he's doing it and how people are believing him. Fascinating character. I don't know, there's been a lot of developments, a lot of very interesting things happening. I'm enjoying this a lot. It's this new method of reading where I have the audio and the physical going at the same time is making the story feel a lot. I'm enjoying reading Hob a lot more in this way, because with how slow of a storyteller she is and with how many perspectives she takes on, but she's not in a rush with any of them, really just focusing on her story and just plowing through it is the best way to go. Instead of just reading little bits here and there, then it feels like nothing's happening. But she's such an intricate storyteller and such a close personal storyteller with each of these characters, and she builds really real feeling characters that I just want to protect some of them and knock the other ones off the ship. But anyway, my goal was to finish this book by the end of the weekend so that I could start the month with my buddy reads, and that's a really great example of me setting up unrealistic goals for myself, which is on brand. So now my new goal is to finish this before the end of the vlog so that I can talk about more than one thing in this vlog, which I think is very doable. I did finish the Hunter x Hunter chapters that are available to us right now, so I am completely caught up for the moment, and I don't need to talk about that in this vlog because I have a video coming out on Friday on the main channel talking about it all. I actually just finished filming it, but I loved it, and I'm so excited for more chapters. And now I'm gonna go read so that hopefully I can make some more progress. I'm loving it. It's a great book. You should read it. Read the first one first though. Okay, so yeah, I'm in the same spot as the last vlog clip, but the reality is I only have so many places in my house, so we're outside of it again. Finished Mad Ship, and boy oh boy was it good. So I'm going to talk about it in some spoilers here. So before we get into that, some spoiler-free final thoughts. I loved it. It was fantastic. If you enjoy a slow-moving, very well thought out and immersive fantasy world with a lot of moving pieces, very character focused, but also very rich in lore and in very unique history that's also very digestible. I think that Hobb did an amazing job of laying clues of what's going on and of where certain things are coming from and what the history is, to the point that you can start to guess without it being really obvious and without it feeling like you're pulling the author's teeth to get information out of them. I think she did her pacing for delivering information, very intriguing information about this world and how it works, is fantastic. Her plot pacing is on the slow side in my opinion, so you know, that's not going to be well suited for everybody, but her character work is tops. They really feel like real characters, which makes it really, really painful when they suffer, and really, really fascinating to watch the baddies work. So yeah, if you're into like a good, well thought out, well developed nautical fantasy, man, does this one deliver, especially with the way information about the lore and about the history and about the goings on is being divvied out, and then when it all does come together, it was really good. I'm pleased. So, spoilers now. Click the description, the timestamp in the description to skip over these spoilers, because I'm going to say a couple of things. This isn't a review, so I'm not going to go super in depth. Just a couple of things that I want to talk about. First of all, the reveal of what mad ships are made out of. I already knew they were made out of wizard wood, but the cocoons that dragons hatched from, and they retain all their memories. Excuse me? That is so cool. And the way that information was revealed to us through Malta and the Rainwilders, not to mention the build up and then execution of the riot, that's the word I wanted. The riot at the ball. Not gonna lie to you, when this all started, I rolled my eyes because I'm kind of tired of a slow moving fantasy with a big explosive end that ends in like the siege of a ball or an attack at a ball or the riot at the ball, and I don't know, it was just like, oh, we're doing that. And a lot of times that plot line can feel a little bit contrived, of like, well, of course it has to happen now, but did it really need to happen now? And in this story, it felt so real and so good, and I'm really, really pleased with the entire ending. I'm especially pleased with Malta, the character. I loved her from book one, and in this book she stepped up. It was like she snapped out of her childish immaturity and her selfishness. Not entirely, she's still a kid, she's still naive, she still doesn't know a lot of things in life, but she said, I'm gonna make stuff happen. She said, I'm gonna see what I can do about my family. And she stepped up. And everything at the end with her with the dragons, man, I was scared about how that was gonna go. I wasn't sure about it all because Malta makes bad decisions. And so when she's making this choice to take on all those memories and to make this great sacrifice for this dragon, I'm like, oh no, this is going to end badly for her, because she doesn't have the best perceptive skills on who to trust and on what to do. And I loved the way it all went. Althea's struggle, I feel a little bit mixed about her. I love her, but I don't care about her romance, if I can put it bluntly. I did really like Greg? What was his name? The guy who proposed to her. I did really like him because he seemed to genuinely love her, and I felt like what he was offering to her was a reasonable offer within the setting that they're in. He's offering her the most that he can fathom would be accessible to her, and I appreciate him for that. But even more so, I appreciate Althea for taking an honest look at it and saying, I still won't be happy there, and I'm just gonna have to go for broke. I'm just gonna have to go for the one thing that I know could give me a real future, and if I can't get it, shucks for me, but I'm putting all my eggs in that basket. And I just appreciate these characters. I don't care about the romance. I'm not Team Greg. I'm not Team Brashen, though I was Team Greg when I first met him, because he asked permission to kiss her, and even though she said, I could never love a man that will ask permission to kiss me, in a land of pirates, and in a book full of a whole lot of difficult scenes, I appreciate a man that will ask permission to kiss. But anyway, I don't care. I don't care about this triangle that's happening here. It's not truly a triangle, is it? Because she only loves one of them. But I don't care about any of that. I don't care about Brashen. I mean, I do care about him as a character. I don't care about the romance. Can I say that again? Should I say it one more time? Anyway, the point is, while I'm not invested in all of that, I am invested in the characters, because I'm very interested in Brashen, and I think he makes an amazing captain, and I think he's doing the best he can with what he's got. And I do think that watching him wrestle with addiction is also a very fascinating introduction with his character. And then with Althea choosing her own path, Greg, I think is his name, offering her the best path he can think of, and then her ultimately turning him down, not because she doesn't love him, though she doesn't, but she thinks she could, but because that's the best path he can think of. And if that's the best path he can think of, then she knows that that's never gonna work for her. And I really like that. I really like that. Kenneth, incredibly interesting character. I said this was in a review. I said I was gonna be quick, didn't I? I'll just say this. He's a manipulator. He's a liar. He's a really good one, though. He has ambitions. He thinks he's noble, and he can convince a lot of people that he is, including my dear sweet Wintro. That hurts me. And including Althea. That hurts me. I said the wrong name. Including Vivacia. That hurts me. The weird relationship going on between Kenneth and Vivacia, I don't know what to do with that, so we're just not going to talk about it. But I understand that Althea has about the maturity level, the mental maturity of what Malta had in book 1. At least that's the way I perceive it. She's young. She's a kid. She's only just been quickened not that long ago. And since she's been quickened, she's been led by Kyle, who never should have led her. She's tried to bond with Wintro, who has essentially denied her, and now she's bonded and led by Kenneth. So what's she to do? She's been in nothing but bad relationships, and now she's with a guy who can sweet talk anybody, it seems. I'm using the word relationship. I understand. Don't worry about it. I understand the actual situation going on. The point is, it's a tangled web. It's complex character stuff. These characters that I'm invested in, that I care about, I can see through Kenneth, but I have the benefit of his perspective. They can't, and I understand how he has a silver tongue and he could easily sway people. Oh man, who have I left out? Malta's family, her mom and her grandmother. They're doing a great job with the roles they have too. I've been talking long enough. This was great. It was fantastic. I'll be reading the next book. My August is pretty full with the commitments I've made, so I'll probably be reading it in September, probably. but I'm very, very excited. And then I'll do a spoiler discussion on the trilogy once I'm done with all that. And frankly, I'll probably skip over the next Fitz story and just get straight to Rainwilders, because the Rainwilders continue to be the most interesting characters in the book. So, spoiler free again. Those of you who didn't want the spoilers, I hope you're back here so that I can tell you that I still have 2 days left until the end of this vlog. Well, the rest of today and tomorrow. So, if I pick something short, I might be able to squeeze in another book. And plus, we'll talk about Fruits Basket in the next clip too. So, let's go. I'm pretty sure my body is trying really hard not to get sick and failing. So this will be quick. Do you remember when I said that if I pick a short book as my next book, then I should be able to get through another one in the vlog? Well, I picked a 400-page book and I am 100 pages into it, so all the goals were all wrong. But I love it! I'm 100 pages into Amari and the Night Brothers, and I love it. I'm still, oh my goodness, let me just tell you a little bit about it. It's pretty popular. A lot of people have read this. I'm behind the trend, but just a brief, it's middle grade. Amari is our protagonist, and she was on a scholarship in a good school, but got into a fight and got her scholarship revoked, which meant that they couldn't afford to send her to the school anymore. So then her brother, her older brother Quincy, who she loves, she has an amazing relationship with, he's gone missing about 6 months ago, if I'm remembering correctly, and she still believes that he's alive, though everyone else has written him off as dead. And she was visited by well, it doesn't matter. She got a message from him. That's what you need to know. She got a message from him that says, basically, I've set you up to apply to this summer program. It's magic. It's magic. And it's amazing. So Amari, through a bunch of things, she ends up being able to go to the school, obviously. I feel like that's just the trajectory we know we're gonna go in. And I've just arrived and I'm getting the groundwork of this magical society and why they have had to keep themselves hidden from the outside world, you know, all that kind of stuff, all those things. So it's very, you know, Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, Neverwhere, all those kinds of middle grade structures. It has that structure too. Now, a lot of my friends this is one of our Patreon buddy reads, and a lot of my friends over there have read it and said that they enjoyed it, but were generally disappointed because they felt like, you know, it's doing that thing, that middle grade thing, and it just didn't feel unique enough, and I just don't feel that way. I am so swept away by this world and by this setup. The setup of her domestic life. You know, I love reading, as weird as it sounds, I love stories that are about grief and her kind of clinging to the hope of her brother, her relationship with her mom's struggle of working so much to be able to make ends meet as a single mom. All those elements just drew me right in. I love Amari, the character, and then I really, really love learning about this magical world, because it's not just like, we're magic, so we must hide from the mortals. There's lore behind this, behind the history of why they had to remove themselves. You know, all these myths, these mermaids and dragons and witches and vampires, all these myths that we have, the reason we, the normies, know about it is because humans and these creatures once lived together, and the history that we get of why they had to pull back and why these creatures had to turn to myths. I loved it. I loved the reasoning we got, and the nonsense of the world. I love the way middle grade stories like this one incorporate nonsense, these odd, weird things that everybody treats as normal, but it's not normal. Anyway, my battery's flashing at me, which is a good indicator that I've spoken enough. I love it. I'm only 100 pages in. I have 300 pages left, and I already have the pre-order for book 2 pulled up on my computer because I love it. So I'll continue reading that next week for sure. I also bought Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Gonna read that next week too. Also, and we have Fruits Basket Volume 5, which I finished, and I'm actually gonna keep this spoiler free because I don't have a lot of spoilers to talk about here, so you know, you don't have to skip around. But volumes 4 and 5 have been my least favorite for the same reasons, and that's just that we are expanding so wide. You know, we started with our core people that we got to know, and then side characters came along, and those side characters are interesting, but it's not just that we have a lot of side characters, it's that we have to explore the trauma and the baggage and the backstory of every single one of them, and we're doing that for such a massive cast of people that, to be honest, I feel kind of trauma fatigued. I feel like I'm just jumping from trauma to trauma with some really sweet, cute, wholesome, wonderful moments in between. And while I love this kind of look at how everybody has their own trauma and everybody has their own stuff that they're working through and carrying on their shoulders and things that they're trying to process, and the theme of how impactful it is to someone to just love them where they are, to accept them as they are, and to offer them kindness. I love that theme. I love that we keep seeing that, and I think that every single individual character is getting a unique, authentic, real feeling and impactful story, exploration. I just feel fatigued. So like I'm slowing down a lot with my reading because each time I pick it up, I'm just like, I feel fatigued, which I don't love telling you because the fans of this series are very, very passionate in like the most fun way, just excited to share their love for it. And I still am enjoying myself, don't take me wrong, I'm still enjoying myself, and I will absolutely be continuing on with volume 6 next week, but that is how I'm feeling at the moment. So that's the update on Fruits Basket. Sorry, it was kind of a bummer. So these are the books that I either finished or started this week. Please feel free to continue chatting. I bought this pin with an I. Look how cute. Look at it. It was an Instagram ad, and I didn't think it was gonna come because those usually don't. Not that I buy a lot of things from Instagram ads, don't judge me. But it also came with these stickers.